Well, it's the season of giving, and boy, do we have a gift for you. It's a doubleheader here this weekend between the Fundy Kraken and the Western Wolves. You're watching the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League on High Button Sports. My name's Dayton Camo, welcoming you inside the the Evangeline Recreation Center here in Abram Village, PEI, for a U18 major matchup between the Fundy Kraken and the Western Wolves. We'll take a look at the standings just quickly. Both teams hoping for a couple more points before the midway part of the season, the Christmas break. We'll get to your starting goaltenders in just a minute. For the visiting Fundy Kraken, it'll be Maika Chesson. And for the Wolves, Peyton Kozer mans the crease tonight. And we're off. The Wolves take that starting draw. It's sent right back down into the Kraken zone. Chesson plays it up the wall, kept in at the line. Murray will pick it up on the half wall. She sends a shot through, turned aside by Chesson in front of bobbled puck. That one turned aside by Chesson as well. It's worked up the wall. Stopped at center and sent to the red line, picked up and sent back in. Cosman sends it up to LeBlanc through the middle. And LeBlanc will dump this one in. Now the Kraken able to sustain some pressure here. Lauren Little trying to work it in, unable to keep that one in. And it's sent up to the line. Battle along the half wall. It's sent back and now forced the other side. This one worked to center. Duguay picked it up, forced it ahead. It's put back, and now up ahead goes Thomas. She's breaking in wide. She couldn't find anyone to hand that off to. Now Somerville strips her, but it just squeaks out of the line. Now McNeil up the wall. The Wolves captain will send this one deep. Chesson was out to play it. Now Somerville on the half wall. She had that one taken away from her now. Bootlier. She's gonna make a couple of moves and make her way down the ice. A long shot from distance was blocked in front. And now up the wall. McPherson to center to Murray. She makes a move. And she's going to work all the way in wide. And that one's turned aside off the pad of Chesson. Now a pass in front. Shot from the slot was turned aside. Wolves putting on a lot of pressure here early. And now the puck goes down into the Wolves zone. They'll have to retreat. Worked out by Duguay. Duguay shot blockered away by Kozer. Now Heidi Beck. She tried to start the Jets and get herself going up through neutral ice. It was taken away, but put back down the far side by Richard. Now the Wolves able to break this one in and get set up in the offensive zone. Richard tried to clear that one. She's going to take a tripping penalty on the half wall. So the Wolves will go to the power play as Richard makes her way to the box. .23 to go here in the opening frame. Scramble off the draw. It's put back to the point. That one gets by the stick of McPherson. And now she'll make her way back up the ice. Over the blue line, she'll send a shot on to Chesson. That's no problem, and she'll cover up for the faceoff. Face off one back to McPherson. She'll try and play it down the half wall a little bit too far out of the reach. Now McNeil, far side. She'll put it back to the point. Shot goes in off a skate. Now back to the point. Kept in. Down to the half wall to McNeil in front. The shot goes in. Saved by Chesson. Now this one gets played up the near side wall. Bootlier intercepted that pass. And now McAdam racing in. That one's cleared away out of danger by Chesson. It's back to the slot. A couple of bumps in there. Bex is going to give her stick tied up with Wolves forward down deep. And now sent back down. The Wolves will start it up one more time from their own zone to the middle. And that one's just turned aside. It's back to the point now for Mills. Looking for an option on the half wall. She'll send it through the slot, turned aside. And that one cleared by a stick in front, but we're going to get a penalty on the play. We'll see who goes on this one. So it looks to be Leger going to the box on that one. They have it up as a 4-minute on the clock, so a double minor as it stands on the scoreboard. So some extended power play time here for the Wolves. They'll pick it up at the point. McPherson sends a shot through. Chesson covers up. And we'll get another face-off. 14:20 to go here in the first period. So the one penalty done. Back to 5-on-4. McPherson, good play at the line to keep this in. Shot goes in at the point, turned aside by Chesson one more time. And now Little will send this one down the ice. McPherson picks it up. Stevenson had that one poked away from her, and now it's back to McGuigan. Blacquier played that one up the wall. It was taken away, and we'll start right back from where they started from. Blacquier up the wall. Her pass out of the reach, and McNeil trying to give some chase on that one. Some good penalty killing here from the Kraken. Now this one gets sent back. All the way for Pinot. She'll send it up to McNeil through the center of the ice. McNeil getting hooked all the way through. No penalty on the call. Now working into the slot. Shot turned aside by Chasson with 2:21 left to go here in the penalty to Legier. McAdam, Murray, and Stevenson out there offensively on the power play for the Wolves. Sent back to the point. Shot goes in. That one's just turned aside. Now Richards sends it deep. McQuiggan had that one slide under her stick. Now she's back to the point. Drops it for Richards. Back to McQuiggan. And that one's kept out at the line by Bootlier. She'll do a good job of holding that line. Pass intended for McGuigan. Wasn't expecting that one. She was heading off for a change, so Richards will have to start up from her own end behind the net. Left there for McPherson. McPherson chipped ahead to McAdam. And now a puck in the slot off a skate. That one goes over the net on the back door, and Chasson's there in time. Now puck off the back of the net, sent in front. Cosman's got it. She'll send it the length of the ice. And that's turned aside by Kozer. Now worked back up to center. On the half wall, Mills now works it in. Chasson reaches up with a blocker. It's out of her reach. Now worked up the wall, kept in at the line. Now off the skate of Sydney Mills. She'll have to give chase on the near side. Duguay as well. She's back there, but Bella Marshall picks it up. Marshall up the wall. Just gets out. No offside on the play, so we'll play on. Sent in by Thomas. And rimmed all the way around the wall. Picked up by McNeil. That one intercepted and almost worked out of the zone. Good job by Thomas to keep this one in. She'll send a shot through, blocker to side by Chasson. Now into the corner. Marshall sends it up the wall. Just gets to the half wall. Working in was Pino. Or Duncan, excuse me. Now this one's sent up the wall, just out of the reach of Dickey, and it's worked in offside, so we're going to face off at the line. .9:50 to go. Scoreless game. LeBlanc and Murray off the draw. Chasson poked at that one. Now a chance in front. A loose puck. This one's going to be picked up by Bootlier. Tries to make a move of the line. Turned aside. She'll get this one back. Send it deep. Worked up the far side. Wolves trying to keep this one onside. Murray will send it deep. Picked up by Cosman. Left back behind the net for Bootlier. She'll send a long stretch pass up to Deschard. And now it's put back for Bootlier. She goes cross ice to Cosman. Cosman tried to go through the middle. It was almost intercepted off a stick. Now working up his little, trying to force some pressure. Gets it back all the way into the Wolves zone. They'll send a stretch pass up. Cosman's going to have to turn on the Jets and get there, but it'll be Bootlier racing out instead. Little chip one into the middle of the ice. Poked at by Stevenson. Now bounces over the stick of Cosman. Stevenson's got a chance in, and she rips that one over the net. Now this one flipped high to the near side. Mills is down there on it for the Kraken. Now up goes Thomas. She's taken down. Now McWigan. Near side. To Griffin. Drop back Thomas. Her shot blockered up. That one's bouncing behind the net. Picked up by Haley LeBlanc. She tries to send one up the near side. It's taken away and out of the reach. McWigan back for it for the Wolves, sending it up to neutral zone. It's Duguay. Firing it back in. McWigan up the wall. And now McAdams got it. She'll try and make a move off a skate. Chance away for the Kraken, but that was just out of the reach. Now away go the Wolves, back the other way to center. But Duguay back to clear the danger. Working up is Somerville. She's taken down, but a chance away for Dickey. She was racing in. Now Murray. Oh, she's got a chance in. She drove wide. Elected to curl off and find an option. Now Mills. To the slot. Good pass in for McPherson. Rebound. Turned aside by Chesson. She's got it all under control. Maika Chesson, 1, 2, 3 saves. She's not a stranger to facing 40, 50, 60, sometimes even 70 plus shots. Now a chance away for the Kraken. Breaking down is Little. That pass taken away, but kept in at the line by Duguay. Blocked by Richard. A little friendly fire, and now Stevenson back the other way. Working in, backhander turned aside by Chesson. Now the rebound as well from behind the net. Now working in. That chance in front was turned aside, and Chesson has that one as well. 5:53 to go here in the opening frame. So face off to the left of Chesson. Back to the point. McWigan's got it. She'll send a shot in, tipped in front. That one took a little bounce. Now up the wall to Ricketson. Ricketson, Mills, and Becks all on the chase down low. Mills took a hard fall into the board. She's back up. Now it's worked out the other way by the Wolves. Near side now. Griffin trying to make a move to the middle. That one's taken away. Now in front of the net. This one almost turned over. And a penalty coming now. So a hooking call. Coming to Leger. Her second of the game. So Leger to the box for the second time this period. The Wolves back to the power play, and that face-off back to Richards, won by Murray, and the bouncing puck is corralled once again. Richards down low to McAdam. She's met down there by Duguay. And now a big hit around the wall, and that'll get some chance there. Good job by Summer Gallillan to get up, shake that hit off. But now we'll go to 4-on-4. We'll be back to even strength. And we're going to face off down here in the Wolves' end. Face off, won by the Kraken. Duguay sends a shot through, that one just wide of the net. Cosman sends it down to the half wall. Little taking a couple cross checks. She'll hand it off to Duguay. Duguay with a shot turned aside by Kosier, and that one of the few shots he's faced so far, but stood up to the task. So 120 left on the penalty to Leger. 140 on the penalty to the Wolves, so the Kraken might be able to get 20 seconds of power play time if things go their way. Face off, put up the wall. Webster will drive in, pass to McPherson. Taken away by LeBlanc. LeBlanc played it up the wall. McPherson able to pinch in. Now Bex comes in to help out. Bex across to Marshall. That one was up the wall and out of her reach. It'll be played back for Chesson. Marshall. She'll start the Jets in the defensive zone. Tried to hit Bex, and now she'll grab it again. Heidi Bex stops up, tries to make a move on the half wall, taken away. And Duguay unable to keep it in. It'll be sent back down for LeBlanc. Back to Cosman. Cosman from her own zone. Working up. She tried to make a move with the line. Maybe too soon, as that one goes the length of the ice. So face off to the left of Kosier. McGuigan gets that puck off the draw. It's worked to the wall by McNeil, and she'll send it down the ice. 20 seconds of power play time has arrived for the Kraken, and it's ticking down. Cosman around the wall to Duguay. She works into the slot. Duguay rips one. That one's blocked in front. Now back the other way goes Thomas. Right after blocking that shot, she rips one. It's turned aside by Maïka Chesson. Now Thomas to the slot. Tried to hit Duncan, but it's out of her reach. Just off the heel of her stick. And now the other way go the Kraken. Working in was Dickey. Picking that one up is Somerville. Sends it to the front. And that one just missed. Now working it back up was Thomas. She had that one stripped by Bootlier. Now a chance in front. Turned aside by Chesson. Another save by Chesson. And she's been a brick wall so far tonight. 2 minutes left to go here in this opening frame. And we're still locked at zeros, much thanks to the play in the Kraken crease from Maïka Chesson. Face off, one back to the point. Fanned on that shot. And now it's sent into the near side corner. Back to the point. Pinot sends a shot in. That's wide of the net. Now worked back around. Back to Pinot. She's unable to control that one at the line. It's out for an offside. The Wolves will have to touch up. They sent up the far side. Little in there giving pressure. McAdam picks it up. Bex was coming into chase for the Kraken. And now it's sent far side. Blackhair chasing after that one. Unable to reach it. Boutlier picks it back up. Duguay goes up. She finds Bex. Heidi Bex working in. Rips a shot off the pad. Probably the best chance so far for the Kraken. And now a high stick going to be called on the play. We're going to face off. Should come inside the Kraken zone. Or the Wolves zone. And it will. So the face off to the right of Gozier. 45 seconds to go. Back to the point. Cosman. She'll send a shot through. It's up high. That one's gloved down. Now Thomas working in. Good play at the line by Boulay. She gets a stick knocked out of her hands. And that'll send Duncan to the box and the Kraken to the power play. So with 30 seconds to go in this opening frame, the Kraken heading off for their full first 2 minutes of power play time. Face off one to the corner by the Wolves, sent back to the point. Duguay corrals it, sends one to her partner, but nobody home. Now a chance away for Stevenson. She's going to get after that. Loose puck. But nobody able to corral it. It's sent back to Boutlier. Now up the wall, 5 to go, and McGuigan's going to send it back down for Duguay. And time will run out. So here from the Evangeline Recreation Center, a 0-0 scoreboard. Much thanks to the play of Maïka Chesson. We'll be back for the second period of play right after this. You're watching the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League on High Button Sports.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Welcome back inside the Evangeline Recreation Center here in the western side of the island. Through 20 minutes of play, the Fundy Kraken and Western Wolves deadlocked at zeros. The Fundy Kraken to start the period on the power play for a minute and a half. A penalty to Kinley Duncan to end the first period will transpire here over into the second. The referees making their way out onto the ice here before we get set to drop the puck here for the second period. Referee giving the puck a toss to make sure the ice is nice and dried up. No wet ice. And the referee will make her way to center ice. Haley LeBlanc and Hallie Murray on the draw. Second period underway on High Button Sports. So the Kraken on the power play. This one just kept in and finally sent down the ice. Chesson out to play it. Hits Boutlier on the corner boards, but this one's stripped. Now Boutlier will try and kick that puck free. It's still in possession of Hallie Murray, and now finally into the Wolves bench. So the face-off will come back down into the Kraken zone to the right of Chesson. Face-off won by the Kraken, picked up by Duguay, sent cross ice, up past a little bit out of the reach of Mills, and picked up by McGuigan. McGuigan goes up the wall, and this will be right down into the far end. Chesson plays it up the wall for Duguay. Now Stevenson. Tried to play that one up the wall. LeBlanc intercepted and worked in offside, so a whistle on the play. 19:01 to go here in the second frame. 31 seconds left on this Kraken power play. We'll see if they can get anything mustered up here in the final seconds. Galilin wins the draw. Cosman working in her shot, turned aside. Now it's in the corner. Kicked free. That one's out to the slot. No one home, and Cosman will have to go all the way back, pick that one up. A long pass up, finds the stick of Garnett. Garnett was working in. Now Little, her shot saved off the pad of Cozier, and a penalty coming. So hooking call. We'll see who gets this one. It'll be the skipper, Kaylee McNeil, going off for the hook. So the Kraken with another beautiful opportunity to break the ice in this one. LeBlanc wins that draw. She's got it on the half wall. She'll set up. A pass intended for Boutlier. Picked off by the long stick of Murray. Now she'll pin Boutlier to the wall, trying to make that outlet pass. Boutlier spins back once more. Pass for LeBlanc. LeBlanc gets bumped there along the near side wall. Duguay will muscle that one into the zone. She forces that one towards the net. A bouncing puck gets right back to Duguay. She has that one stripped. In goes Thomas all alone. Fans on it, runs into Chesson. That one called off immediately. So that one will be waved off. The face-off will come to the right of the Kraken goaltender. The Stevensons out there on the kill for the Wolves. Face off won by the Kraken. Now behind the net is Bex. Trying to feed one through the middle was Garnett, picked up by Bex at center. Now Bex is hooked. Another penalty coming there. And that'll be touched up, called on the play. Heidi Bex trying to make her way through center ice. She's hooked pretty well there by Maya Stevenson, and that will send the Kraken to a two-man advantage. They'll quickly head over to the bench, draw up a play without taking that timeout, maybe discuss something. 47 seconds with two extra players on the ice. Bex and Cosman at the point. Pass for Bex. She'll shoot. Shot. Saved it. Turned aside once more, and now the rebound is put wide again. Kosher maybe getting a pad on that one. Not sure how that stayed out. And now it's back to the point. Cosman in a battle with Mills. Now Bex up to LeBlanc. 23 to go in this two-man advantage. LeBlanc working in. She'll get the half wall. Set up. Back for Cosman. Cosman. Now Gillillan will drop. Cosman shot in. Now Bex. 5-on-4 now. Shot from LeBlanc is blocked, and a long pass out for McNeil. She's got it deep in the Kraken end, trying to make a move out front, taken away by Heidi Bex. Cosman now up the wall. LeBlanc chipped at that one. It's back to Richards, and she'll send it in. LeBlanc now works it up the wall. Pinot back for it. And she'll use the boards and send this one down the ice. 30 to go in this Kraken power play. Now McAdam in front, tried to hit Stevenson. She was breaking in shorthanded. Now Boutlier behind the net. Trying to look for an option. Starts the breakout up the wall to Duguay. Duguay working her way through center. Gets a chance, a shot in, and that one's turned aside by the blocker of Kosher. She'll jump behind the net and get on top of that one and cover up. 2 seconds to go here on the penalty to Stevenson. So 2 opportunities there for the Kraken. Just unable to capitalize with the 5-on-3. Maybe trying to draw one play up off the wall. Gilhillan will take the draw against McNeil. Draw one. Duguay shot goes through. Might have been the play they were looking for. Duguay with the hard shot from the point. She'll keep this puck alive on the far side. Screaming in front was Garnett. She was all alone. Now Griffin plays it up the wall to Thomas. Thomas will get this one ahead. Now Duncan working in. Shot turned aside. Blocker saved by Chesson. They score. Caden Thomas leads the flyby for the Wolves, knocking home that rebound, blocker side. And the Wolves lead 1-0. Now working ahead is McNeil off the draw. It's sent into the Kraken zone. Chesson will come out to stop that. Cosman's got someone all over her. Now a loose puck work to the near side. Ricketson trying to dump it deep. This one off a stick into the Wolves zone, chipped out by Ricketson. But now bumped ahead by Stevenson. She's working in. She gets bumped, and now a penalty coming. So a hooking call. This one gonna go against the Kraken. Lauren Little heading off to the box. So we'll head right back down to the Kraken zone. The Wolves on their second man advantage of the game. Murray on the draw. But this one gets sent the length of the ice off the face-off. Kosher will have to come out and stop this one for McPherson. McPherson, long stretch pass up for Murray on the far side. She'll try and work her way in to center. Murray, that pass taken away, and Boutlier will send it down the ice. Kosher to play it on the backhand, a little risky. No Blaquier behind the net. She'll start the breakout on the power play. Blaquier up to Mills. They got a chance in front. The Wolves were breaking in with numbers. Now back to Blaquier. Her shot along the ice. That one turned aside easily by Chesson. Now Stevenson back to the point. A shot goes in. It's tipped and just wide. Now Mills to Richards. This one gets past the skates of Blaquier and out of the zone. Sent back in. Chesson out to play it. It'll be rimmed all the way around, and Boutlier rims it even further up the wall. It kept in at the line, and now Marshall. She had Thomas pinned up. Thomas comes away with that one, and now played back down the wall. Marshall chips at it. Can't get it past Thomas. Duncan coming in to help out. Now Duncan on the half wall, down low to McNeil. McNeil trying to work around and find an option. She'll turn on the Jets, have that one poked aside, and she's right back on it. Kaylee McNeil on the near side. She'll rip one into the corner. Now a chance in front. McNeil had that one poked off her stick. Now Little down the ice. Working in. Her shot blocked in front by Pinault. Picked up by Duncan. Back to the point. Cosman plays one down the ice. Now Duguay pokes at that one. It's worked free by Pinault. She'll work in. Shot turned aside by Chesson. Left there for Cosman. And Cosman's going to turn on the Jets and go up through center ice. Cosman has that one poked off her stick. She'll meet Murray in the corner. Now Griffin sends it back to center ice. It's moved up by Somerville. Now the Wolves, McGuigan sends one to center, taken away by LeBlanc. She works in onside. Now McGuigan again, she'll play it around the wall. Chipped ahead, and this one's on the tape of Hallie Murray. Murray across in front. That one turned aside by Chesson. She'll hold on. We'll get a whistle with 10:07 left to go here in the second period. A 1-0 lead for the Western Wolves, thanks to Caden Thomas. Now the Wolves trying to make do with some offensive zone time. Back to the point. Griffin sends a shot through, blocker to side by Chesson. Back to the point. Now up to center ice. A couple of bodies falling down there, and it'll be worked in. But Boulier pass in front. That one's turned aside. A scramble play in front of the net. A couple of bodies tumbling there. But Kosher able to keep it out and keep this a 1-0 game. So draw to the right of Peyton Kosher. Kaylee McNeil, Summer Glillen on the draw. This one goes to the half wall. It's won by the Kraken, but poked to center by the Wolves, and now Thomas has a chance away. She's got players going to the net. That one's off the stick of Chesson, back to the corner. Now the half wall is shot. Turned aside by Chesson as well. Back to the point. Shot goes in. That one off the pad. Now Becker, her pass goes across. That one off the stick. A race in for it. McPherson gets muscle off the puck. Now a chance in front. Little scores! Lauren Little picks a top corner, and we're all evened up here on the island. So off the draw, it's picked up by Pinot. Driving to the net, she'll send that one off the glove. A good rush there by Misha Pinot. Now Bex up the wall. The Kraken captain will sling this one into the zone. LeBlanc in there on the chase. Boulier, her shot's blocked. Cosman has to collect that one, send it back across to Boulier. Now up to LeBlanc. This one's off the heel of her stick. And a battle at center in the skates. Finally picked up by Boulier. And now Stevenson for the Wolves will collect it, send it in. Chesson out to play it. Up the wall. Garnett trying to move it forward. She does. It's deep into the zone. McGuigan to neutral ice. Trying to make a move. She fanned on that puck. Now it's passed back into the corner for Niall Somerville. Up the wall. Somerville to Duguay. She'll put this one down the ice. Mills on her. Now worked ahead for Stevenson. Stevenson shot blocker to side by Duguay. Now Somerville in a battle there. And Bex picks it up. Sends it cross ice. A tumble along the near side. Bex picks it back up. Chesson joining the breakout there. Starting a breakout with a quick pass up to Duguay. Duguay trying to find Somerville, but it's poked in and sent ahead. Now a chance for Maya Stevenson. She's rubbed off into the boards by Duguay. Duguay taking a bump in the corner. Now Bex gets it along the wall. She'll send one down the ice. On the chase, there's Dickey. She'll get to it first. Loose puck in the slot. And now Stevenson on this one. She's got Duguay looking after her. And now a penalty coming. So Duguay will head off the box. Interference the call. And just after tying this one up, the Kraken will head to the penalty kill. So the face-off to the left of Chasson, her blocker side, the right catching Kraken goaltender. Back to the point. Richards to Pinot. Pinot shot. That one's wide of the net. Now McAdam. Back to the point. Over to Pinot. Pinot sends one in. Sticked away and into the corner from Chasson. Now Richards. Cross to McNeil. McNeil off of, or Thomas, excuse me. Now the rebound is turned aside by Chasson one more time. She's been on fire this afternoon. Now the Wolves gain possession and send this one in. 60 seconds to go on the power play. Bex chopping at that one. She just misses it. It goes through the crease and sent to the point, not out. McPherson working in. Slap shot turned aside. Marshall chops at that. Can't get out. And now it does. She'll send it up to Mills, and Mills will clear the zone. Now a long pass up ahead off the stick of Stevenson. Chasson to the corner. The referee had to get out of the way of that one. Now Duncan. Her shot off the glove, and they score. A power play goal from Kinley Duncan off the glove of Chasson into the back of the net. Puts the Wolves up 2-1 late here in the second period. Face-off won by the Wolves. Duncan will work in once more. Shot turned aside by Chasson. She'll glove that one up for the face-off. Kraken trying to send out a whole new quartet. The referee says not today. Dickey will come in to take the draw. And now Cosman will, the defenseman. Ella Cosman on the draw. She wins that one back. Now up to Dickey. Dickey will send one deep. Pino up the wall. Now Duncan on the half wall, has a couple of Kraken all over her. Coming in to help from the back end is Blacquier, but it's worked to the net. A penalty coming as well, and Cosman will touch up. The Kraken will go back to the box. Summergill Illand will head off for 2 or less. So the Wolves back to the power play. Kraken will have to kill this one off if they want to keep going the way they are and stay 2-1. Now this one's worked ahead to LeBlanc, and LeBlanc will send one down the ice. Now working it up through center is Pinot. She'll work in on the chase. Now McAdam to Murray. Murray trying to walk in. Her shot off a leg in front. Now back to the point. Richards to Murray. Murray to the slot. Perfect spot to rip one, but she hasn't yet. Backhanded wide. Now Murray back down to Richards. She'll back one down for McAdam. Now far side, they'll start. Cycle to Pinot. Her shot wide of the net, backhanded on by Richards, and that one didn't have enough mustard on it to get to the net. This one's sent down the ice by Leger. McGuigan picks this one up. She'll start from her own end to the near side. That pass off the wall. Now back to the point goes Mills. McPherson back down to Mills. This one's taken away. Now Bootlier trying to work her way down the zone. Puck in the corner for McPherson. She goes cross ice to Webster. Working in. Webster through the high slot. Looking for an option as she circles. Thrown right out in front of the slot. A good chance. Pinot will send one in. Block her away to the corner by Chesson with 1:15 to go here in this second period. Duncan. Up the wall. This one's taken away by Blacquier's shot. And that was a good blocker save by Chesson. Now McNeil. Back to the point. Pinot across to Blacquier. Blacquier tried to send one to the back door. And she's sent to the ice by Heidi Becks. 40 to go. This one's worked out. Thomas had a shot just over the net. And now Blacquier works one off the pants of Duguay in front. Pinot, her shot turned aside by Chesson. She'll cover up for the face-off. 20 to go here in this second frame. A 2-1 lead for the Fundy, or for the Western Wolves over the Fundy Kraken, thanks to the latest by Kinley Duncan. Now a chance in front. Pad save by Chesson. She'll cover up. And we'll get another face-off to the right of the Kraken goaltender. Face off, one back to the point. Turned aside in front. Now picked up by Murray. Last second, she's got a chance in front. Chipped ahead by Stevenson. And this one's going to be turned aside by Chasson and sent down the ice as time runs out here in PEI. Through 40 minutes of play, the Western Wolves lead the Fundy Kraken 2-1. Caden Thomas and Kinley Duncan with the goals for the Wolves. And Lauren Little picking the corner for the Kraken. We'll be right back with the third period of play. You're watching the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League on High Button Sports. My name's Dayton Camo. Stay tuned.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Welcome back inside the Evangeline Recreation Center here on the west end of PEI. Nestled quietly in between Urbanville and Abram Village. Dayton Camo welcoming you back inside for the third period of action. The Western Wolves lead the Fundy Kraken 2-1 through 40 minutes, and the final 20 just about underway. There's the opening draw. It's one back by the Kraken. Sent up the wall. Bex chips this one ahead. Sent back up. Murray's there, and now Stevenson. Stevenson drove wide into the corner. No offensive chance coming out of that one. Murray sends a shot on. Cosman picks it up net side and sends it to Bex. LeBlanc sends one down the ice. It's picked up by Pinot, sent to Richards, and she'll dump it deep. Duguay up the wall. That one past the stick of Ricketson. Now back down for Pinot. Off to Stevenson. Her shot wide of the net. Now it's worked ahead. Griffin there to pick it up for the Wolves. Send it to neutral ice. Leger back across. Somerville up. Took a little in, and she'll try to hit Little just offside with a Kraken there, and they'll have to touch up back in the defensive zone. Boutlier goes cross ice. It's worked up to neutral ice, but no further. Now back down for Boutlier. Defensive zone, so send across ice for Duguay. Now Somerville in the middle. She's stripped of that one. Now Boutlier will corral it behind her own net. Taken away there by McNeil. The shot off the chest protector of Maika Chesson. Back up to the slot, now in the corner. Now Duncan back to the point. McPherson goes to her partner. Now back down in the corner. Onto the stick of Boutlier. She tried to make a move. Couldn't get it by Duncan. And now the shot goes in. And it'll be covered by Chesson. 17-17 to go here in the third. Face off one by Murray. Back to the point she tried to go, but it was intercepted there by Mills and worked down the ice. Garnett was stripped of that one. Now Thomas working in. Thomas trying to throw a backhander at the net. It's kicked out front. And now Garnett works to center. She's the only Kraken forward in the zone. The rest of them went to change. Now help comes from Bex. Working in is Stevenson. Pad save by Chesson. The rebound comes out to the point. And Webster couldn't unload that slap shot. Now Stevenson sends it back in. Up the wall. Mills has a nice move to the front of the net. This puck comes back to the slot. Webster back to Griffin. Sends one in off the pad of Chesson into the corner. Now Mills. Working in. Backhander, and that one's taken away. Shot from Griffin goes in. Taken into the corner, and now Bex will play it up the wall. This one sent to Griffin, picked up by Stevenson on the far side, worked to the front of the net, out of the reach of LeBlanc. Now Ricketson picks it up. She gets rubbed out, and now a penalty call coming. So penalty now coming to Thomas. Couldn't see the signal that the referee gave the timekeeper. But nonetheless, Thomas will sit for 2 or less. Draw one by Kayla McNeil and sent down the ice. Up the wall to Duguay. She'll get stripped of that one. McNeil working in. Pad save by Chesson. The rebound has to be cleared quickly by Boutlier. She'll go cross ice. That one's out of the reach of Mills. Helped out there by the linesman. Now Blacquier will send it up the wall. Back to the point to Boutlier. Boutlier sends a shot through. It's off the pad and just wide. Now Duguay tried to send one back down through in front. Mills is taken down. Now LeBlanc. Her shot was blocked in front. Boutlier looking for an option. Now down to LeBlanc. She'll work her way through. LeBlanc shot off the arm of Kosher and sent down the ice now by McPherson. Now Little working up on the short side. She's going to get speed and look for an option. Stops up on the half wall. Puck poked away, and that one's going to exit the zone. Cosman will have to come back and gather that one up. The penalty to Thomas for unsportsmanlike conduct. Thank you to the PA announcer for letting me know. Now Garnett picks up the loose puck. Short side, she tried to fire one and find a hole. But turned aside by Kosher. Now Cosman shot off a skate. Galilin had that one just skip past her. And now it'll be set down the ice by Maya Stevenson. Chesson out to play it. Team's back to even strength. Cosman goes up the wall. Finds Garnett. She sends it in. Mills will pick it up there for the Wolves. And now the breakout started by McGuigan. And a long stretch pass played up. That one's into the netting, so we'll get a face-off right outside the Wolves zone. Face-off won by the Wolves. It's Griffin. She'll send it into the zone. Leger knocks it back for Boutlier, and now Stevenson back for Griffin. Her slap shot is tipped in front by Leger. Now Boutlier trying to gain some speed. 12 to go here in this third period. Poked away. Boutlier's got to be careful. Last man back, so any mistakes will be on her bill. Now LeBlanc giving pressure. It's McGuigan starting this breakout here for the Wolves. Across to Griffin. Sending one deep as they go off for change. It's Duguay battling down there in the corner. Picked up by LeBlanc. To center. Kicked in by the stick, or by the skate of Dickey. And now back out for Duguay. Marshall plays it up the wall. Dickey tried to poke this one in. Now a chance for the Kraken into the net. That one just out of the reach of Dickey as Somerville stops up. Now Dickey below the net to Mills. She gets bumped from behind, and now two Kraken on the ice in the offensive zone with Thomas breaking out. The pass goes wide to Duncan. Duncan breaking in. She's trying to get her way to the net. Backhanded in front to McNeil. Shot turned aside by Chesson. Now Richards trying to find an open lane. That one's wrapped around and on the near side. Chesson able to get there. Now Marshall goes to Duguay. She goes up the wall. Kept in by Pino. Now Duguay sends it out. Now Cosman picks it up for the Kraken. She's stripped by Stevenson. Now a battle along the far side wall. Nobody able to gain possession yet. Finally pops loose for Legere. She'll take one on the forehand back into her own end. Up the wall to Little. Now Cosman. Cosman quickly up to Ricketson, and she had her stick lifted on that one. Couldn't send it in. Now a pass ahead. This one's going to go the length of the ice. An icing call on the play. So with 9:52 to go here in this third period, the Kraken trying to find the equalizer. Both of these teams trying to climb up the MMGHL standings before the Christmas break. Face off, won by the Kraken. LeBlanc has it. Goes down to Bex, back up to LeBlanc. Bex pulls that one free. She'll send a shot on. That one's turned aside by Kosher. Pinching in is Duguay. She'll keep this alive down in the Wolves zone. Now, squeaking back. Back to neutral ice. Sent in by Wilcox. Now the puck gets free. LeBlanc has one in the slot. Trying to make a move. Now out goes McGuigan. Change there by Wilcox. Left the lane open, and now the save in front by Chesson to cover up with 9:07 to go. Kaylee McNeil working in, the captain on the draw for the Wolves. Now a pad save, a shot from distance along the ice came in. Chesson just able to get control and locate it at the last second. Now it's worked to the wall. Legere gives a bump in the corner. Now Duncan has control. Cosman plays it back around. Legere now up the wall. Richard had that one out of her reach. Now Thomas to the slot to Duncan. Her shot over the net. Now on the near side, Garnett will send one down the ice. Doesn't have enough meat for icing. And now it's sent back to the point. Can it be kept in? No. It just squeaks out past the stick of Duguay. So Kaylee McNeil able to corral it and turn on the Jets here for the Wolves. She makes her way through to center. McNeil wide of the net. Throws a shot on. Turned aside by the pad. Now back to the point. Pinot sends one in. This one tipped through the slot by Stevenson. Sending it down low. McAdam giving chase to Duguay. Now picking that one up is Murray. She falls, and that one's going to be called a penalty. So the Kraken going to be short-handed here. Summer Galiland off to the box. 2 minutes for the trip. And off the draw. Face-off won by the Wolves. Back to the point. Richards shot over the net. Back to the slot, and it's cleared aside. Chesson doing a good job in there to stay poised in the crease. That one gets to the net. Now LeBlanc's got a chance away. She just has to beat Pinot to that puck, which she was unable to do. Now worked in offside by the Wolves. Now McAdam after that one. Linesman's whistle seems to be not in the best shape. So the referee had to help her out. Blew it down, players unable to hear it. So the second whistle kind of helped out there. We'll get a face-off outside the Kraken line. 1:34 to go in the power play for the Wolves. Face-off is one back to McGuigan, up to Stevenson. Stevenson back to McGuigan. Her shot goes in, turned aside, rebound, goes back to the point to McGuigan once more. Now Duguay. She's got a lane. She's going to go wide, and that one's taken away by Mills. Now Leger. Last one back. Backhands one up the wall. Bex is there. And Bex able to get it out of the zone. It's quickly sent up for Mills. Working in around Duguay, and now Leger picks it up, sending it back up the wall. Now Stevenson in front, turned aside by Chesson. And she'll cover up. 47 seconds to go here in the penalty to the Kraken. Now Cosman up the wall. Pinot had that one off her stick. Chance away for LeBlanc. Kozier's out there, and it's off his stick. Penalty coming to the Wolves. And an interference call, so we'll get some 4-on-4 hockey here for 1:26. And then the Kraken will get 34 seconds of power play time on their own. We thank you for tuning into High Button on this beautiful Saturday. A little bit chilly, but I bet you it's a little bit warmer wherever you're watching from today. We've got games all across the Maritimes again tomorrow. Just a regular weekend at the office here at High Button. So off the draw, it's the Wolves with possession off the glass. Duguay unable to keep this one in. Now Boutlier back up to Duguay. Goes through the middle. Now a chance away. LeBlanc's got Little. Backdoor LeBlanc. Tried to feed one through. Duguay comes in. LeBlanc and Little both down there giving pressure for the Kraken. They're down one. They need to tie things up. LeBlanc. Both teams at 4-on-4. Little gets pinned in there by McNeil. And this one sent down the ice. It'll be just short of an icing as the Wolves are now shorthanded. Bex backhanded across. Duguay has to reach for it. McNeil sliding in, and now LeBlanc turns on the Jets. LeBlanc into the middle. That one turned aside, couldn't get to the net. Now Bex picks it up on the half wall, back to the point. Across for Boutlier. Boutlier sends a shot in off the pad. Now LeBlanc in there, reaching after her. McGuigan had that one played to the side, and now Stevenson will play it down the ice even further. No icing on the call. Cosman going back a little nonchalantly. Boutlier tripped up. No call on the play. People were waiting for this now. Stevenson alone off the post. Now on the half wall, Beck's trying to work her way in. McPherson chipped ahead, Duguay after it. Both teams back to even strength as Richards gets back out of the box. Now Galilin across. Legier first to it. She's working in, sends one to the front, doesn't get there. Now Mills will try and work one up the wall. Now a shot goes in. That one from Garnett. Turned aside. Galilin into the corner. Now Richard working in. That one poked past her. Now it's one-on-one Mills with Leger. Mills got by, but Duguay back to clean up the garbage. Now a player sent to the ice. No call on the play. Duguay was down. Now Garnett and LeBlanc along the far side. Duguay picks it up, and now a penalty coming. A little bit of confusion on that one. Puck was blown dead in Kraken possession, but the Wolves, the ones heading off to the box. It'll be Finley Blacquier heading off for two for the cross check. And the Kraken call the timeout, so we'll be right back here on High Button. So we're back after that Kraken timeout. Finley Blacquier in the box for the cross check. And the Kraken down 2-1 with 3:16 to go. Talk about a perfect opportunity. This would be it. Haley LeBlanc, Hallie Murray on the draw. Murray wins that one, and it's sent down the ice by Pinot. Chesson out to play it for Boutlier, and she'll stop up, start the breakout. Hard pass to LeBlanc. LeBlanc goes up the wall. Sent in by Mills. Mills giving pressure, and this one's going to be put up the wall. Duguay unable to hold the line. And now Boutlier with Stevenson giving pressure. Has to go back and pick it up right where she started from. Minute 20 to go here on the power play. Duguay up to Little. Little had that one poked off her stick. And now Boutlier back to corral it again. Boutlier to LeBlanc. It's off her skate. And now Beck's unable to corral it at the far side boards. Now Boutlier to Duguay. She tried to one-touch that up to Little, out of her reach. Now Little has it. Goes cross ice to LeBlanc. LeBlanc chips this one, and this one's into the bench. So the face-off will stay outside the Wolves line. 2:07 to go here in the third period. 51 seconds remaining on the cross-checking call to Finley Blacquier. Face off one. Cosman will send it in deep. need some pressure from the Kraken if they want to sustain some offensive zone time. And now it's sent down the ice back again. Cosman picking it up for the Kraken, moves it ahead for Bex. Chesson makes her way to the net, or to the bench, so an empty net. Extra attack of the Kraken. Puck goes to the slot, and Little had to just jump off her stick. Now Lauren Little working up. She's got the goal for the Kraken earlier in this one. Behind the net. Little to the slot, drops it back. Beck's shot goes in, that's wide. Now Garnett, 2 seconds to go. Blackiere going out of the box pad, save from Kosier. Slap shot turned aside, that one's wide of the net. Now Garnett. Back down low for LeBlanc. She skates out, tries to find an option. Goes cross ice, puck taken away. McNeil there. She goes to Mills. Mills giving pressure on Cosman, 50 seconds to go. And now a chance for the open net. This one's put wide. Garnett chips it ahead. Coming in there was Pinot at the point. And now we've got another penalty coming. Some pushing and shoving in front of the net. A head contact penalty. We'll see who takes this one. It'll be Misha Pinot heading off. We'll see if it's a 2 or a 4. It's just a 2. And it seems like the hockey gods are giving the Kraken every last chance they can get. Kraken win the draw forward. Bex in the corner. Little picks it up and just like that, the power play comes to an end. Bex will make her way off, so arguably one of the most dangerous Kraken will make her way to the box. Micah Chesson will make her way back to the crease. 31 seconds to go here in the third frame. A 2-1 lead for the Western Wolves over the Fundy Kraken. LeBlanc Murray on the draw. Face off, one back shot goes in, and that's turned aside by Chesson once again. Face off, one back to the point. McPherson sends a shot through. LeBlanc's got possession through center, tries to poke one through. It's off the skate. 15 to go. McWigan sends one down onto Chesson. Boulier's got to turn and go. 10 on the clock. Worked ahead to Dickey. Catherine Dickey with a shot going in, and that one's turned aside. Another penalty on the play. We'll see who goes for this one. McWigan gonna go off, so a 5-on-3 with the net empty here for the Kraken. 4 seconds to go, so they've got to draw one up. Mills has got to win this draw. And this one's into the corner. 2 to go. And that'll do it. Here from the Evangeline Recreation Center in PEI, the Western Wolves take down the Fundy Kraken, a close one. 2-1, the final score. Dayton Camo for High Button Sports, thanking you for tuning into this one. These two teams back at it tomorrow morning, right here. Same place. HighButtonSports.ca is where you can catch all the action all weekend long. I'll have the call tomorrow for the Valley Wildcats matchup against the Western Rebels from Tyne Valley. But for now, Dayton Camo saying so long from the Evangeline Recreation Center. Take care and have a good one.